Hello and welcome to the Evercade Retreat. Gene Joke here, and today I'm adding Radikal Bikers from the Pico Collection 3 to my ever-growing list where I rank every Evercade game ever. Radikal Bikers is a port of an arcade game for the Game Boy Color. The arcade game was by Gaiares and so far is not on the Evercade. It's a point-of-view racer in a 3D environment where you deliver pizza on your scooter through your chaotic urban environments. This Game Boy Color port takes things to an isometric view. Oh, and it was a cancelled port. It was never officially released back in the day, up until Pico picked it up and put it out there. The graphics are nice and crisp, the isometric view is well done, everything is quite clear what's going on. The animation is quite basic, but it does the job. The colours are very bright and vibrant. The sound effects are a little more than the usual beeps and bloops you'd expect from such a game. The crashes, there's bleeps when you pick things up. Yeah, it's what you'd expect, as I said. The music is pretty good here. I wouldn't say they're so remarkable, but it absolutely suits the type of game it is. It's fast, it's upbeat, and it keeps you going and nodding your head. Although much of it does sound vaguely familiar, I'm not sure if it's lifted from elsewhere or just very inspired by numerous other things. But again, it suits the action, so yeah, it does the job perfectly well, even if it isn't the most memorable music. The gameplay is fairly straightforward. Race around your isometric city, dodging traffic, collecting pickups and trying not to run out of time. The early levels ease you in, they're not the most exciting but they help you get to grips with the game, but it becomes quite fast chaotic action once the game gets going. However, the difficulty does ramp up quite significantly on the higher difficulty levels, so I do recommend putting on easy to begin with and playing through the game that way. And on easy is the only way I've been able to get through the game. The later levels I just can't manage the time limit. I wonder if they're even possible. Of course, that could just be a skill issue on my part, but I have heard this sentiment echoed elsewhere, so maybe it's just a balance issue. This was, like I said, an unreleased or cancelled game, so perhaps it was just never quite finished, and even on polishing up for release, perhaps Pico didn't quite pick up on the difficulty of the later levels. Again, maybe it's just my skill issue. This isn't really my sort of jam game wise. I don't mind these isometric races, but they're not a style of game that I'll gravitate towards. However, this is a fun one and I really can't knock it. It's an absolutely solid little game, and I say little game not because it's actually little or lacking in content, but it feels like a small pick up and play game that's ideal for handheld gaming. To place it on my overall ranking list, I'm going to put it above Street Racer for the Super Nintendo, but below The Legend of Kage. Right, that's it for this short review and ranking. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.